Hello, everybody. Good morning. So my name is Dee Kanejiya, and I'm the founder and CEO of Cognii, and I'm here to talk about AI and education technology, particularly virtual learning assistants that can help us improve the quality of education. So let's start. So a little bit about myself. This is what I look like when I'm not bogged down by the startup. I worked at Nuance developing speech recognition technology, and before that I worked at Vlingo developing the S-Voice technology for the Samsung Galaxy virtual assistant technology. I done PhD and postdoc from IIT Delhi and Carnegie Mellon University. So let's talk about education. How many of you are familiar with online education or know somebody who has taken a MOOC, Messy Open Online course? Great. So education is moving online. People are learning online. But there is one problem, and that is that there's a lot of content. There's also a lot of platforms like Coursera, edX, but the assessment and the feedback, that interaction between student and the teacher is not there in the online education. It has been recognized very well by experts that assessment and feedback is the main challenge for making online education successful. So what is it that is making assessment a difficult process? Because all of you probably know about multiple choice questions. We have taken this all along our educational career. And they have a challenge in terms of measuring the learning efficiently. So they don't work very well in terms of measuring the knowledge. What has actually worked is the open response answer assessment and one-to-one tutoring. When you ask someone to explain their knowledge in their own words, they are able to learn better. Similarly, when you provide them a one-to-one tutoring, they learn a lot better. It has been proven that their performance is 2 standard deviation above the performance of students who learn in a 1 to 30 classroom setting. But the main problem is that the scalability. It's very easy to offer one-to-one tutoring in a small class or small number of students, but as the number of students increase, this challenge is very significant, and therefore there is more and more reliance on the multiple choice-based testing. We would like to build a solution that can provide high-quality education at very large scale. And this is the main problem that we are solving at Cognii. So where do we go for inspiration? Well, we know that AI and virtual assistants are pervading our lives today across many different spheres, whether it is social media or consumer electronics or healthcare-related applications. It is helping us a lot. Can we build a technology that can be similar but for education purpose? So that is Cognii. Cognii is a virtual assistant designed primarily for education applications. Hence, it's called virtual learning assistant. It has mainly 2 functionalities. It provides an automatic assessment of students' open response answers, like short essay answers, and it provides them a tutoring using AI technology. For example, here in this right side, system Cognii asks question. So this is the main difference between Cognii and any other Siri-like virtual assistant, where a user asks a question to Siri, like what is the weather like, and Siri answers the question. Here, Cognii asks student a question, student has to answer the question, and then Cognii evaluates that answer and provides the feedbacks and guidance towards the student to make them learn that topic. So here is a brief demo that shows the student is learning about musical harmony. So they would first read this passage, and then they would be presented with a box where they have to type an answer to this question, what is musical harmony? And so as they type the answer and submit, they will be getting instant real-time assessment and feedback in terms of natural language conversational dialogue. So this is a good start. Harmony does require more than one pitch, but what about the pitch that makes harmony? And so the student, based on this feedback, they can give it a second try and continue until they learn the topic. So this is the basic virtual assistant that is helping students in online education. Another application that we have is in the medical training or corporate training space. Here, other than the educational application, in the training, we would like to know that the employees or the trainees know the knowledge better. And the best way to do is ask them to explain their reasoning. So here is a scenario where a medical doctor is presented with a case scenario, and then they are asked a sequence of questions, and they have to explain the answers. And if they don't understand, then Cognii helps them understand those topics better. So this is the training application. Basically, in terms of the pedagogy, we are able to provide learners opportunities to do active recall, provide them targeted feedback, give them adaptive tutorials, and provide them better learning and retention, which is very critical in terms of job readiness. So let's talk about the technology that facilitates Cognii to provide this kind of a rich interaction. Behind the scene is a proven and unique virtual assistant technology that we have designed that benefits from the cognitive computing and natural language processing technology, such as language syntactic analysis, deeper semantic analysis, and conceptual hierarchical analysis. And we have presented this research earlier on in academic publications to show the efficacy to be close to human in terms of the efficacy of this assessment-related technology. We have, in one of our experiments, we asked 4 teachers to grade 192 answers on 1 to 5 point scale, and then we compared how many times they agreed and how many times they disagreed. And then we also asked Cognii to grade these essays and compare to the human scores. We found that 132 times there was a perfect agreement between teachers, and 126 times there was perfect agreement between Cognii and the teachers. So it's very close to interhuman agreement. One of the techniques that we have published earlier on is a technique called latent syntactic semantic analysis. It's a generalization of the famous framework called latent semantic analysis, which is a bag of words approach. Here, you do a words, documents, and syntax 3-dimensional structure, and then perform a higher order SVD and other technologies to perform tensor model. So in terms of how do we work and apply this technology to our partners, we generally take the learning content like textbooks and assessment items and questions, and customize the Cognii solution to make interactive learning possible with their content. And then we generally deploy it through an API or hosted solution. In addition to the adaptive interaction to the student that we provide, we also provide to the teachers a very rich learning analytics. They can see at the micro concept level who is learning, who is struggling, what is the overall class performance on a particular topic, and how they can revise certain topic later. The technology is flexible and powerful. It can be applied across the spectrum in the education setting, whether it is K through 12, higher education, professional learning, or corporate training. Also across the subject areas other than mathematical symbolic processing, and also to measure different depths of knowledge like recall and basic skill to all the way up to critical thinking. We work with several partners within the EdTech ecosystem, whether they are school districts or universities or MOOCs, corporate training or EdTech companies. They can avail our solution. Here is one example where a student from Bunker Hill Community College is learning with the help of Cognii how to write better thesis statements in a composition writing course. And we asked students after they used Cognii for a semester, how did they feel about Cognii? And we were very pleasantly surprised that they enjoyed the feedback that they get instantly. And this particular comment makes us always happy. So in terms of the benefits that we are trying to create for the education ecosystem with the help of Cognii, is basically to all the 3 stakeholders, whether they are students, or whether they are educators, or whether they are educational organizations. To the students, we want to provide engaging learning content, a technology that can improve their learning and retention. For the educators, we want to save their time and productivity and provide them insights and opportunity to personalize education at a very high level. And for the organizations, we want to offer them opportunity to scale high-quality education without the concern about the cost. And it has been recognized. So in terms of the cost of education, we definitely provide high-quality education at a low cost compared to multiple choice-based assessment or technologies where there is a low quality, low cost, or human-based, which is high quality, high cost. It has been recognized by experts. We recently won an award for the best learning assessment innovation by Wharton Business School at the Reimagine Education Conference. And we are very pleased to launch our virtual learning assistant technology today to all the education technology ecosystem. That's my presentation. Thank you.